Don't mind your business. Mind my podcast, Mind Elixir. Hi, and welcome to the pod. I am so glad you could make it. My name's Ayoka, and I started this podcast to share my thoughts, tips, and other things while inspiring and helping other teens as I learn stuff throughout my life. Today, I wanted to give a few tips or basically ideas for improving as a person and just allowing yourself to be better while at the same time letting go of that and those that which do not serve you for the new year. And I know it's still like 2 weeks or something past the new year or a week past the new year, but you can really do this anytime. And I think it's important to go into the new year thinking more positively or at least um setting yourself up to be hopeful for better things to come. And yeah, I just think your mindset really plays a big role, especially in the perception of different aspects of our life, and everything really is about perception and our interactions with others. And first of all, my first category is stuff that we need to let go of, or basically stop doing. And I think it's great to let go of that which is harming ourselves and others, whether it's a person, a certain negative trait you have, or just bad memories that have, or things that have bad memories connected to them. Because releasing those that no longer help or serve you or others will be good for your well-being. And this first one, it's kind of basic. I know we see it in literally every single New Year video that you and your mama watch. But first, just start off with decluttering and getting rid of items or things that you have no connection to whatsoever. Because clearing out your life, it starts with your personal space first. Maybe we have something that reminds us of a bad time in our life or something that hurt us. If so, I think you and we should probably get rid of that thing if you have any item that you just don't need. And really, just in general, if you have a junky, musty room overflowing with stuff like you're a hoarder, then baby, some of that has got to go. Another thing that has got to go is self-deprecating, self-depreciating, however the hell I pronounce that word, self-deprecating jokes. Because I know I myself, I have done self-deprecating jokes a few times, but like I stopped doing them months ago and like I'm trying to limit them. And but if you are the type of person that makes too many self-deprecating, depreciating jokes, then you need to stop. Because how you speak to yourself matters, even if it's just a joke. Because whenever you start speaking to yourself in one way, then you might actually start believing it, you know? Even if it is just a joke or whatever. And sometimes whenever I hear someone talking down about themselves, it makes me feel as though like they want me to try and comfort them, and I do, but like it feels so awkward and stuff. Especially if you just do self-deprecating, depreciating jokes in just an attempt to get other people's compliments and like you're denying their compliments or whatever. Like, no. Instead, start speaking to yourself with kindness. Use positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and like say kind words to yourself. But just look at something and use positive affirmations. You can write it down. And there's a whole bunch on Pinterest. I know we all love Pinterest. Pinterest literally has the best quotes. Well, not the best quotes, but they have like those little aesthetic ones that I post on my Instagram story. And something else that we need to let go is seeking validation from others. So I feel like this should be pretty self explanatory. Don't seek validation from others because you are this sounds kind of weird, but you are the most important person in your own life. You are you. So focus on yourself. And at the end of the day, you are the only one that needs to validate yourself. You're the only person that you need acceptance from. And yeah. And the next one is toxic people. Let go of toxic people. If someone is causing pain to you, or if they're maybe not reciprocating the love and energy and kindness that you have given to them, or if they just give off bad vibes in general, because I know some people, they are like that. Or maybe they just make you feel bad about yourself, you need to drop them. And to be honest, forgiveness, it is a wonderful thing. But not personally, I don't think everyone deserves it, especially if someone is constantly being toxic to you, harming you, whether that's emotionally, mentally, or physically, whether they're just draining your energy and you just feel as if they're not that great of a person to have in your life and all of that. Maybe it is time to let them go. Of course, nicely, don't do anything like mean, don't do it in a mean way. But if there's toxic people in your life, you need to let them go. And then this next one, it kind of goes along with toxic people, but it's people that make you question your self worth. So if someone is making you feel bad about yourself or making you feel like you aren't worth it or enough in some way or another, then you should probably distance yourself from them, set boundaries up from them. And yeah, just like limit your interactions with them. And then something else we need to let go is limiting beliefs. So I just looked up this definition because I didn't had haven't done that much research into this and I really wanted to make a whole episode on this one. But limiting beliefs are false beliefs that prevent us from, pursuing or going after our goals and what we want in life. So if you have any limiting beliefs, let them go. Like stop listening to those limiting beliefs. Next one, bad habits. So if you have any bad habits, whether it's I don't know, not having proper hygiene or something, or maybe always letting your room get dirty, like just bad habits in general, let go of those and start to establish better and healthy and good habits in your life because that will help you in many facets and parts of your life. If you start to replace those bad habits with better habits. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. It can happen gradually and eventually because it's a process. Okay, and the next one I have is you need people, well, I feel like this is mostly a girl thing, but the idea that we're better than someone because of the way you dress or that you're better than someone because you don't dress basic or you don't dress like a visco girl or you don't dress like a hot Cheeto girl or you don't dress all that you're better than someone because of that because in the end we should be in this together, girls supporting girls, except not tearing down other people for the way they dress and all of that, especially since I've noticed that girls, I feel like we're put at a higher standards of individuality, and it seems as though society kind of makes fun of us for every single thing we do. Like every single fashion trend girls had, it was made fun of, or fashion trend or whatever, like visco, hot Cheeto girl, um, basic, alts. Alts is the new basic. Oh my gosh, that's so quirky. And all of that. We need to stop thinking that we're better than someone just because of the way we dress. We need to let go of that idea. And then something else for me personally is being so judgmental. Like sometimes well, most of the time, it's not that great to make judgments about people before you meet them or just judgments off of their small actions. And it can be hard for me sometimes. So I'm trying not to do that and to start looking at things more objectively in a more objective manner. Now, my next category is things we can do to become like a better you, like the process. Like, think about how you would like to be perceived or seen, and just think of yourself maybe 10 years later. Would you be glad or proud of yourself? And if not, then why? And like, what can you do right now? What can you start to do right now? Maybe you'd like to start embracing your creativity. And I know I always switch it up between you and I, but really I mean we because it's both of us. This is kind of like a pep talk for me. But yeah, I'm still learning and growing how to be a better person and improve myself and stuff like that. And just gaining and cultivating and focusing on these things in your life while at the same time investing in your development and growth is the best thing you can do for yourself for this new year or in this month or whenever, really. The first thing you can do is like make mood boards and dream boards for inspiration of what you'd like to have or what you'd like to achieve in your life. And your mood board, it can just basically be a pictures of where you'd like to see yourself or pictures and like a collage of your resolutions and setting goals for the new year or whenever, of course. And then it's something else we need to start doing. Stop caring what others think about you so much. Because sometimes whenever we care about what others think too much, it can prevent us from doing what we want to do. And it can just become so limiting and stop us from our true potential and all of that. And there's no easy solution to 100% stop caring about what others think. Like, I still care about what others think a lot, but I've improved and I don't care about what they think as much, I'd like to say. And I actually did an episode over this called Overcoming My Fear of Judgment. But my point is, what better way to become a better version of yourself than to stop letting judgment of others hold you back and for you to continue and start doing what you'd like to do and embracing who you are as a person. Which brings me to my point about how you should become comfortable with your being yourself. It is great and wonderful to have others around you, but at the end of the day, who's going to be there for you? You are. So you have to become comfortable with yourself and who you are as a person and just being yourself and being alone by yourself. Because from day 1 to day 100, you are going to be with you. So become comfortable in who you are as a person. Next category, lessons learned. So for this one, I wanted to talk about like basically some things I've learned from the new year or over the year. Although this year has been full of loneliness, confusion, there's also been unity and comfort. I've also like learned to pay attention to the little things in life as quarantine has slowed down. I've learned to stop avoiding negative feelings and to just face yourself and realize what negative ideas are controlling you. For me, that would be the idea that I just mess up at everything for some reason. That's all I can think about. Like, I just think, oh my gosh, I messed up at this, I messed up at that. I can never do anything right. So I need to confront that idea and think, why why do I think that way? You know? And I don't know what it may be for you, whatever idea it may be for you. And then also something else was that I learned that many times whenever a person reacts one way to something, it's not always necessarily my fault. It could just be because of the way they feel or a fear that they have. You know, like if someone reacts to you in a weird way or an odd way or in a way that you think is rude, it's not always your fault. It could just be because of things they've experienced in their life and them. And we don't have to always be perfect all the time. So it's okay, and it's okay to make mistakes and all of that. The second thing I've learned is if it's important to you, then it's important. Stop putting less worth on something just because it's somebody else or just because somebody says it isn't worth it or because you start to have doubts about it. Don't. If it's important, then keep doing it. Just even if others may say that, oh my gosh, your problem is so small compared to mine, or what you want to do is so insignificant. If it's important to you, then it's important. And stop putting it off and start paying attention to it. The third thing I've learned is it's important to stay educated on social justice topics and issues and to stand up for what you believe in, especially as our world's changing. Like, just because the world is changing and that means you should also be changing with it, I guess. And just because you may change your opinion after you become educated, that doesn't make you a hypocrite. It just means that you've learned. Like there's things I've said in my episodes that I don't even agree with, like in my first few episodes or something. There's things I may have said that I don't 100% agree with, and that doesn't make me a hypocrite. That just means that I've maybe changed in one way or another, or changed my thinking in one way or another. And especially, we may approach like hard topics or conversations. And I think it's just important to keep learning about more topics and to become more aware in the world and what is happening. Because after all, we do live here and we're going to keep living here for a long time. So we might as well know what's going on and all of that. And speaking of all of that, let me know if there's any episode ideas or any topics you'd like me to touch upon because I definitely want to keep doing more of that. And yeah, Basically, in this episode, I discussed things to cut out of your life, what we need more of or should focus on to continue becoming a better person. That is all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, afternoon, or night. Don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you'd like to. Follow on Spotify, subscribe on Google Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, and oh my gosh, I forgot to say, did I already tell you I got a TikTok? I got a TikTok, so I'm going to put that in the description. And see you next Wednesday. Bye.